In this video, we're going to walk through the steps you'll follow to successfully complete a performance objective. Before you can submit your performance objectives, you'll need to add your record of employment and your practical experience supervisor details. From the dashboard, click the View Employment button, and then add New Employer. Here there will be a prompt to enter the employer's details. Any field that's marked with an asterisk is mandatory and will need to be completed, or it will not allow the employer's details to be saved. The employer's name and address details will need to be added. Once all the mandatory fields have been completed, click Save and Finish. The employer's details will have been successfully added to the PER record. This can be edited or deleted if needed. Next, details about the role will need to be added. To do this, click the Add New Role button, and will now be prompted to add the role details, including job title, the start date, the end date if this is applicable, the average hours per week worked in this position, and the percentage relevance of the role. Select Yes if this is an approved employer for trainee development, if it's an audit-related role, and if this is a lecturing role. Future members can claim a maximum of 12 months lecturing experience towards their practical experience requirement, and this must be at a level equal to, or higher than our applied skills level exams. Also, if the role being entered is a current role, the end date field should be left blank. If a role is part-time, or is not 100% relevant to accountancy or finance, the time will be automatically calculated on a pro-rata basis. Once the information is entered, click Save and Finish. Now that the employment information has been added, this needs to be linked to the practical experience supervisor for this role. Click into the employment record and scroll to the bottom of the page. Here select Add New Supervisor, and a prompt will appear to enter the required details. This will be the supervisor's name, email address, relationship to the trainee and job title. When selecting the relationship, remember that to be eligible to sign off performance objectives, they must be an IFAC qualified accountant or be recognized by law in the country that you're based, and they must have knowledge of your work. They must be someone with whom you work closely, who knows the type of work you're doing and the quality of your work. They'll be assessing your achievements, so it's important they have the knowledge and expertise to do this. Ideally, this will be your line manager, or the person to whom you report on particular projects or activities. If it isn't your line manager, it must be someone within your employment, or if external, has a business connection. For example, someone such as your employer's external accountant or consultant. They cannot be a lecturer, an acquaintance, or mentor. Remember that a non-IFAC qualified line manager can still sign off the relevant time you've completed in your role, but they'll not be eligible to sign off your performance objectives. Click Save and Send Invite, and this will send an email to the supervisor to link their account to the future member's account. Once your supervisor has linked their account to yours, you'll be able to submit your performance objectives to them. From the dashboard, click View Objectives. Here you'll find a full list of all of the performance objectives. Select the objective. For our purposes, we're going to select Objective 1, Ethics and Professionalism. Then select Start Objective. You'll notice that the status of the objective on the list has now changed to In Progress. To successfully complete this objective, all of the elements listed need to be achieved in the workplace. Also, a short statement describing the experience will need to be written. This needs to be between 200 and 500 words. Once complete, the objective will need to be sent to a supervisor to be signed off. Each objective contains 5 elements, which outline the tasks and behaviors that must be demonstrated to be able to achieve the objective. These are mandatory requirements of achieving the overall objective. The written statement should be between 200 and 500 words. This should be a concise explanation of how the performance objective was achieved, and detail 1 or 2 examples. It's important to be aware that the written statement does not need to be focused on all of the elements, just a summary of the experience gained to meet the overall description. Once the written statement has been added, click Save, and the word count will update. You'll now see that the Claim Objective button is no longer grayed out, and is now clickable. This is because the statement is within 200 to 500 words. If the statement is out with this requirement, it cannot be submitted. The objective can be submitted when all the elements and the written statement have been achieved. To do this, click Claim Objective. Now that the objective has been added to the basket, this can be submitted to a supervisor. Clicking on the drop-down menu will reveal the full list of all supervisors currently linked to the account. The objective should be sent to the supervisor who oversaw the experience for that specific objective. Once the practical experience supervisor has been selected, select which employment role this was for. In this example, we only have one role. However, our future members can claim their experience from multiple roles. Any relevant comments can be added for the practical experience supervisor to read. Once you've reconfirmed your agreement to the strict liability clause, you can select the Submit button, and the chosen supervisor will be notified via email that they have an objective to review. And the dashboard will update to reflect that this performance objective is currently under review. Once the objective has been approved, the status will update to completed. If an objective is declined by a supervisor, this will also reflect as declined, with a corresponding comment that is mandatory for the supervisor to provide. Thanks for watching.